person that you cheated on needs to know. So if you're gonna say like I'm not gonna tell them because of psychological damage, it's honestly you're not even taking accountability for what you did.
True. If you like say you cheat on somebody and you don't tell them because you're afraid of hurting their feelings, you're not taking accountability. No, I'll give you an example. I was talking to this guy, maybe like I want to say 4 days ago, and he asked me the question of, what is something you look for? Oh, you know what? Should I read the messages? Should I be messy? If you've never experienced that, it may be so much easier to say than some person who's experienced that. Am I making sense? I don't think it's easy to get out of an abusive relationship. No freaking way. Hell no. Hell no. How do you? I don't know. This was a really interesting video. I really liked that I found this video this morning and was able to watch it, understand everybody's perspective, know what to look out for, stay away from, but also learn a cheater's perspective and, you know, why they cheat, how they feel about cheating, and to also know how it made the person that they cheated on feel. I feel like I could agree. I don't want to say that because I would never agree with the cheater, but I can understand their thought process. You know, I feel like at the end of the day, it all comes down to not wanting to hurt a person. In my opinion, that ending part was basically not wanting to hurt a person. But the people who got cheated on, it was like it hurt anyway. The damage is already done. You're being selfish, so just, you know. Please tell me if you ever cheated. Like, in the comments, right? If you made it through this whole video, please write in the comments. I don't care how long it is. Tell me if you ever cheated and like how did that go when you told the person, you know. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year, guys. Hope you all had a good 2025, good New Year, good all that stuff. I'm back with another reaction video. Today, guys, I wanted to switch the content up, right? So I found this video and its title is Cheating Always Wrong. Coming in 2026, I really want my content to be like versatile. I want to do some music, some podcasts, maybe some sports down the line, and any video y'all send me. So let me know. But I saw this podcast last night, I saw it this morning, maybe like, I want to say 8 o'clock this morning. And I really wanted to react to it. I only saw maybe like a minute into it, but it's literally an hour. And I just wanted to get my thoughts and opinion based on this group circle. Feel free to type in the comment section what y'all think. This is my first time watching it. Maybe like it's y'all first time. So let's get into the video.
Hold on.
Let's start over. Okay.
I believe that the person that you cheated on needs to know. So if you're gonna say like I'm not gonna tell them because of psychological damage, it's honestly you're not even taking accountability for what you did.
True. If you like say you cheat on somebody and you don't tell them because you're afraid of hurting their feelings, you're not taking accountability.
You
True.
chose to cheat.
Disclosing that you cheated to the person that you cheated on is not accountability.
What?
That is just revealing
That is
information.
taking accountability. I would consider that as a form of taking accountability.
See, this is going to be messy. I feel like I'm not going to agree with a lot of the things that the people say, but that's okay because we can talk about it.
You're so open.
That's delivering.
Open about this.
Maybe it's the first step towards accountability.
I agree with you.
This is going to be good.
Hi, I'm Gen, and I explore social and controversial issues through both sides. And today I'll be moderating this middle ground episode of Cheaters versus Cheated On.
Wait, so who's the cheaters? Oh! This can't be real. So there's cheaters and there's people that have been cheated on. You bring them together and they all talk in a circle. Oh my gosh. Holy hell. I don't like it. I don't like where this is going. Oh, I'm already irritated because why are you cheating? look at the cheaters. She's the only one who feels kind of bad for cheating. He's like, yeah, I did it. She's like, yeah, I cheated. She's giving, I kind of want to be over there with the cheated on. I'm sorry that I cheated. I messed up. She looks like she misses the person she cheated on. And my lovely queen here, I feel like she cheated for a reason. Low key, I feel like she cheated for a reason. Let's go with the cheated on. Now, the cheated on, he looks like a really good guy. Like, he would, like, he's really a guy who does word of affirmations, probably likes to drink at a bar, cuddles you at night. I don't know. He seems really sweet, like a teddy bear. She seems very nurturing and hands-on in the relationship. Hands-on, what I mean, she pays her bills at the first of the month. Like, she gives me very responsible in the relationship, and I don't know their sexuality, but they might have cheated on her. Okay, I actually don't know where I'm going with that. He looks like he's a really good guy and a baddie. I feel like a baddie MILF cheated on him. She looks like I feel like she can get anybody. Like anybody. I just feel like she just needs to keep dating, and somebody will come along and sweep her off her feet. Okay.
Topics
I hope
such
that
as
makes sense.
the personal experiences of people cheating, the emotional toll that it takes on relationships, and why exactly do people cheat?
Ooh.
The first prompt
You know
is
what? That's a good question. I want to know, why do people cheat?
Partner if they cheated on me. Agreeers, please step forward.
This is going to be messy.
I feel like from the side of being cheated on, I think the biggest thing to understand is that forgiveness is something that everybody does deserve. I think that once...
It took me a long time to learn this, but I do think if you were, like, cheated on... if you were cheated on, right? And... I'm gonna talk about me. I'm not gonna talk about, like, cheating and stuff, because I don't have too many, like, experiences, with the relationships or whatever. But I think it took me a long time to learn this. If somebody makes you angry and you feel like you can no longer be in their vicinity of, like, you can't look at them, you can't talk to them, you block them, you, like, contact is completely shot and dead, I would do that and I would feel, like, so much hatred, anger. But now I've learned to forgive. I don't forget, but definitely forgive. It took me a long time to do that. So I do think forgiveness is very important. Very important.
Get into the discussion of why somebody cheated, we can really understand whether or not that person is sympathetic and whether or not that person is somebody that you want to keep around in your life. But I think forgiveness and keeping them in that same relationship are not synonymous. They go separately.
Yes.
I completely agree. However, I do think that forgiveness is something that we give to ourselves, not necessarily somebody else. So, in the event that my husband...
I don't agree with that. Well, for me, I feel like if I can forgive the person that cheated on me, of course, like she said, I can forgive myself, but I also feel like I can forgive them as well. Just never talk to them again. I'm the type of person, if you cheat on me, I can forgive you. I'm not gonna hate you. I hope you won't hate me. But I simply can never talk to you again. I never want to see you again. I'm one of those types. Like, there's a lot of people nowadays who are, like, friends with their exes, and I feel like whatever works for you works for you. But what works for me is if you hurt me deep down to my core, again, I forgive you. I don't hate you. But I literally never want to see you again. That's just how I operate.
I would be giving him forgiveness so that I could set myself free from any hostility or anger that I may hold on to in the event.
I think it should benefit both sides in that sense. Now, whether that other person takes it and uses it to their benefit, you can't control that, and it shouldn't be up to you to try and push that. But yes, also making sure that that forgiveness is for yourself as well, so you can move forward, whether it be with that person or alone, and not take that burden on to the next relationship.
I liked what he said. Don't take that burden to the next relationship. I'm the type of person where I would be the one to take burden to another relationship, but it wouldn't be burden. I wouldn't treat the next person how the previous person treated me. It'll basically be my own insecurities that I'll bring into the next relationship. You get what I'm saying? Like I would just bring like my own personal insecurities into the relationship until that new person that I'm talking to can like reassure me multiple times and like tell me, okay, am I making sense? I don't know if I'm making sense or not.
I completely agree. And I forgive because I've been forgiven. So, and I'm a Christian, so I believe in forgiveness. I believe that we should forgive people because we have been forgiven.
You know, you can have short-term forgiveness and long-term forgiveness. And, you know, it's like, are you addressing the root of the issue? And really, if you're truly forgiving, and forgiveness is something that comes from maturity.
True.
With life experience.
True.
It's the whole circle of forgiveness.
100%.
You get so much, and you release the other person and yourself from anything, and then you can move forward from that point.
One thing that is interesting, though, is that there are 3 people from the cheater side who have sat down, but only one on the cheated on.
That is interesting.
I guess I'd be curious to hear more so about your guys' experiences, because it seems like, in this instance, you were cheated on.
Yes.
So I cheated on him.
Yes.
Oh! You mean to tell me that the host were able to bring 2 exes together in one room and title this video, "I would forgive my partner if they cheated on me"? Both him, both her are looking each other in the eyes. She cheated on him. What the hell is going on? Child, this is messy. Like, what made them both, like, agree to say, hey, let's go? Are they getting paid for this YouTube video? What? Me personally, I couldn't do it. These people are very strong. If you cheated on me, I could not sit in the room and talk to you ever. What? I'm interested to see.
And he forgave me. But I guess I'll let you explain that.
Forgiveness is a step-by-step process. It's not anything that does happen instant. And for us, that was something that we did step by step. And as you said, getting down to the root of it was a big thing. Yes. To where all questions have been answered, all things that were left up to an idle mind are no longer there. And so by getting down to the root of it, I can also figure out, okay, were there some areas that as a husband I did not what I
Oh shit. What the fuck? Okay, what? I'm not judging. I'm just in shock. What? Damn. She cheated on her husband. What did he do? Why you cheat on him? They need to have a backstory. When did they meet? What was the, when did you know that the marriage was going downhill? That's what they need to get to. And I get that this video isn't about them, but this is a perfect example. I hope they get into the tea.
It might have been that you might have felt emotionally you couldn't feel like you can come to me.
So do you feel like you have equal blame in the cheating that occurred?
Can I interrupt? I think that bringing the conversation to the concept of blame, I think you actually kind of have to understand the purpose of blame. And I think that the purpose of blame is to shift responsibility. When I have conversations around cheating, I really like to steer clear of the blame game because the truth is, like, we all played a part.
No, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Why is the person who... You can't blame me for you sticking your wee-wee in another woman or whatever sexual preference or whoever you prefer to sleep with. You can't blame me. You can't. You can't blame me for you wanting to have sex, whatever. You can't blame me. I don't agree. You can't blame me. You can't. Because we had an argument, now you go have sex with somebody, or you go kiss somebody, or you go text somebody else. What? That means you have poor communication skills. That also means break up with me or divorce me before you go cheat on me.
Society included.
You have the disagreeers please step forward?
Yes. Other people get in the chat. Get in the chat.
Just
Sit
to go
down.
back to kind of the imbalance that we
pissing
saw
me
there,
off.
I'd be curious to hear from the cheated on group first.
Girl, I'm interested in that man and girl. That marriage.
There was a few things I heard that I found interesting. One, you said about not using the blame game, and then also when you said about you felt like you may have had something to do with, not being a husband or whatever it may be. And those are things I kind of disagree with. Like, I know most of us walk with good intentions in life, right? We're all trying to be a good person, yes?
Yeah.
Or maybe not. But at the most part, you start off that way, right? But I guess the way I live my life, I don't give anybody any excuse to do something wrong to me. So...
What is it? Thank you. Thank you. Exactly what I said, exactly how I feel, he feels. Thank you. 100%.
You have to kind of go out of your way to do
100%.
that.
Exactly.
And this idea that you start saying, well, it must have been something I did. It actually might not have been. It might have been just the other person wasn't where you were at as a human being. And also the other thing I heard was about, forgiving for yourself. I've never understood that statement. They did something wrong, I'm just going to move on. I'm not going to hold any ill will to you. It just happened.
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead.
So I actually agree with the two things you said about the forgiveness. I have never understood that either. I just feel like, for me, if it works for other people, that's great. I actually have found healing in not forgiving people. And I think there's a difference. I think I choose not to forgive them, and then eventually I am indifferent towards them, is what I'm saying. I think there's a difference between not forgiving someone and hating someone.
And I think most of that comes from, that narrative comes from usually the person who cheated. Saying, forgive for yourself, or like, you never hear it coming from the actual person who got cheated on.
Exactly.
And to that point, it seems it's always connected to, if you don't forgive, you're holding on to some ill will. No, just don't think about it. It's done, and I'll just move on with life.
At
Yes.
least for me, I think that
I'm
it comes
him.
back around to honesty. I mean, any of us that were cheated, I don't think it's any of our responsibility that our partner chose to be dishonest with us about anything. Because even if you assume that, it was something you did, maybe you weren't being open enough, or maybe the conversation wasn't happening that needed to happen, it's still not your responsibility fully, I don't think. You can't force anyone to be faithful or to be honest.
True, you can.
And that's the interesting part.
You can't force anybody to be faithful. And I'm still growing up and stuff, and I'm still like experiencing life and understanding people. You can't. Like, if somebody wants to cheat, they're gonna cheat regardless. It doesn't matter if you make them feel good, you give them everything they need, you support them, you're the breadwinner, he's the breadwinner. It doesn't matter how good you are, a person is still gonna cheat if they want to cheat, and there's nothing you can do about that except for either work it out, move on. I think those are only two things you can, no, three things. Two things. You can work it out, or you can move on, I just think, I don't know. I don't think anybody can stop cheating. If you want to, like I said, if you want to cheat, you're going to cheat. That's how I feel.
I do. Like, they should never think that.
But the early part of our marriage, what I thought a husband was, I go out, I make the check, and I come home and have sex. I'm just being completely honest.
And that's understandable. Yeah. That's understandable. Even going back to what I want to say, the 50s and 60s and 70s and probably 80s, but the shit all went downhill in the 2000s. it was normal for the man to be the, go to work, really just want to eat, have sex with his wife, whereas the wife is at home day cooking, cleaning, taking care of the kids, and what is it called? Just serving. I don't want to say serving, but basically taking care of her man, like doing what the man says. Understandably so. I understand what Keith is saying. I understand it. I respect it, but I still want to know why she cheated on Keith. Because right now, Keith said he was getting that bread and he just wanted some ass. Maybe just the money and the ass wasn't good enough for her. And I would also love to hear her point. So let's continue.
That I needed to bring to the table. So that does not make an excuse for somebody to go out and do something. Yes, we should go ahead and have communication. We should try to learn how to grow within this. But I feel like that was the...
He can't even look at her. Oh, I think it's good. Wait, she looking at him though.
Where did I have any type of flaw as a husband? Because
look at her when they probably already had this conversation, but look at her when you say that. What did I have a flaw as a husband? Say that. Look at her when you say it, Keith.
Decided we're not going to work it out. I don't want to go and keep recreating the same type of marriage.
True. If I get married, right? I don't even want to say this or speak it in the air. I'm gonna say it to somebody else, right? If a person gets married, right? My assumption, they just want to do that one time because that one time, that person they found that's there forever, right? They just want to get married that one time. But say that person steps out of the marriage, of course that person doesn't want to start over with somebody else. At that point, yes, I just want to have, just date and pray that I get into heaven. At that point, you get what I'm saying?
I think it's really interesting that you're the only person from the cheated on and I was the only person from the cheated side. And speaking from my personal experience, because my partner also used to be a cheater, and we came together, and maybe part of it is just us growing up, or we committed to each other, but we consciously made the decision to grow together, grow separately. And so I think if he were to cheat on me, I would not be able to forgive that, because it's like we promised each other this growth, and it would be less about the cheating itself, I think, for me, and more about the breaking the promise of the growth that we've made. And it's like, well, how am I supposed to trust you now?
For my specific experience, it was more of a physical thing. I was a virgin, and I wasn't ready to do that.
Oh, okay, let me let her talk.
And the guy I was with was a couple years older than me, and he went out and did that, and I could never forgive him because physical thing was something that we could never fix. I wasn't gonna have sex with him,
I want to say something because I can understand and I can connect with, what's her name, Julian?
The physical.
What's her name?
Yeah. And the guy I was
Jillian.
with was a couple years older than me, and he went out and
this just hit home for me.
I could never forgive him because the physical thing was something that we could never fix. I wasn't gonna have sex with him, So
I can't.
forgiveness for me was very hard because there was nothing to work on for me. So there was nothing to improve that relationship.
I can 100%. I've had many. I don't want to say experiences. I can just say communication. When I'm talking to a guy, when I'm texting a guy, and basically just dating them and stuff, I say, hey, I don't want to, I don't want to be intimate with you. I want to get to know you for a long time. And there's a lot of guys who can't wait. They want to be intimate with you while also dating you or courting you, even without the boyfriend or girlfriend title. And that's particularly something that I've never been able to get into. I've never been the type of woman to wanna be intimate with the person that I don't even know if we're gonna make it 2 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years. That'll psychologically mess me up in the head, knowing that I gave a part of myself to somebody else, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I would be so depressed, so mad that I shared my body with somebody and we didn't even make it. That would mess me up. So normally when I talk to a guy, I try to say, no. I'll give you an example. I was talking to this guy, maybe like I want to say 4 days ago, and he asked me the question of, what is something you look for? Oh, you know what? Should I read the messages? Should I be messy? I mean, this is. I just want to say something. I just want to give an example, right? So let me go to the messages. So he says, so what kind of guy would you be looking to take serious? I said, my response was, great question. Honestly, I've realized I need a guy who likes me more than I like him. In the past, I've been the one way more into it, and it never worked out. So yeah, I really want someone who's really about me, low-key obsessed, LOL. I'm also super focused on working and building my life. I'm also super focused on work and building the life I want. So I need somebody who's motivated too. And I'm big on honesty, so lying or being sneaky gives me the ick when it comes to guys. I love nice people because I'm genuinely nice. So that also matters. Also, no kids, baby mama / ex drama. This is the most important part. This is the most important part in regards to what Julian said and what I can connect with. I also said, if a guy wants to have, oh, child, I need to use ChatGPT. That's probably why he did text me back. What the fuck did I say? I was forgetting. Oh, I said, okay, basically I'm gonna try to, Anyway, basically what I was saying was, also if a guy oh my god, what the fuck did I say? Did I text him when I was drunk? Did I text him when I was drunk or something? No, I think I was sober. I genuinely can't make out this sentence. But basically what I was saying was, also if a guy is just into sex, that's something that I'm really not into. Should I be honest with y'all and say what else I said? Yeah, I'll say, I have 0 bodies and I want to keep it that way until my husband. Now, this is the part where guys usually bounce. Also, no hard drugs or alcohol abuse. I feel like there's more, but this is all I can think about at the moment. And he responded and said, well, I respect that with all love. And I said, really, that's good to know. And we haven't talked since Sunday. What's today? Today is Friday. And Sunday on, I believe, December. So whenever the last December was, a couple of days ago, and now it's the first of the month in the new year, and I'm just so happy that I didn't bring him into my new year with me, because basically that just showed me that, hey, I'm telling you, I'm willing to talk to you, I'm willing to start slow with you, but don't ask to touch my poochie pouch, because the answer is no. Get to know me first. Let me build some trust. Let's build a foundation, and then maybe we can talk about well, I'm not gonna say that. Anyway, let's continue.
I'm just curious. If he had, I have no idea what your relationship was like.
Go for it.
If he had come to you and said, I love you, I care about you, this is something that I really need, how would you feel about, allowing him to go out and do that, or would you we should just break up then?
Yes,
Totally.
break up.
I mean, I think that I was getting to the point of potentially being ready. But after he did that with someone else, then I was like, okay, no. And I literally did not speak to a man for 3-4 years. It was a very emotionally traumatizing for me. I was only 16.
Oh, okay. 16.
Love is so rewarding when it's good, but it's so painful when it's bad. Even when you know you've been wrong. As time passes, it's hard to heal, especially if you don't have a solid support system. Luckily,
okay, no, I want to get back to the tea.
Cheating.
Okay. Worse.
Oh my god, is that her ex?
Twice in the past year. The first was physical, the second was emotional. And to me, well, I don't want to bring it back to Jillian while she's standing over there, but we were talking about like the concept of virginity, and she was only 16. Like the physical cheating aspect, I was cheated on because I wasn't, I suppose, being sexual enough, despite the communication that we had going on. I was just kind of being lied to the whole time. But emotionally, for me, that's what relationships are built on. So lying about something like that, or like having someone else on the side that you're giving those parts of you to, when I truly just want to like know the inner depths of like your being, because we are in a relationship, it's just worse to me.
Yeah.
You hesitated to come up.
I hesitated to come up because I think the word worse is like, it implies that there is a level of significance to whether you act on it or not. And I think ultimately cheating comes down to managing your own thought life. And as far as what you said about you not meeting his physical needs, I'd like to,
It was her, but yeah.
oh, her,
Same.
sorry?
You're
Sorry.
good, same deal.
I'd love to shirk that off of you because what somebody else does in life is a reflection of them,
Okay.
not a reflection of you.
Okay.
So like as far as the, I didn't meet physical needs of my partner, I think you can't really say that because if they weren't vocal about it, right?
Absolutely.
I
which
agree
is,
with
like,
that. Okay,
was
Chelsea.
The main reason, and one
I
of the
agree with
only
that, Chelsea.
reasons that we broke up, and I called it off, and I was still never apologized to. It was never acknowledged that it even happened.
Yeah.
Because that betrayal was so tangent, it was a lot easier for me to let go of it. But having like a deep emotional connection with someone, I like tried again with an ex, and then I ended up getting emotionally cheated on. I had
Never go back to an ex. They're an ex for a reason. Leave them alone. God, that took me a long time to learn. Let me tell y'all a little story, right? So, I wouldn't even say that's an ex. Basically, I'm just saying never double back. Never double back. Okay? Never double back. You know that line? That half court line on the basketball court, like that line where like we got there's two baskets, one for the home team, one for the away team, right? And there's a line, and if you put your foot behind the line while you have the ball now onto the the opposite side of the court, right? And once that happens, what does the referee normally do? They blow the motherfucking whistle, right? Why? Because back court violation. Don't double back. Don't double back.
more of a deeper investment in the character of that person.
That just pissed me off.
I cared very deeply about where we were going in life and how we were growing together, and to sort of have that growth cut off, is something different entirely. I do like what you said though about using the word worse and like how that.
Now there's like a level of significance to betrayal, whether it's actually executed with your body or not.
Yeah.
I think that
It's still betrayal.
yeah, it's still a betrayal, right?
Has Kyrie texted you back?
I don't want to talk about it.
How's the math test?
Don't want to talk.
I have a long history of cheating, unfortunately.
What?
And I have
Sophie?
both physically cheated and emotionally cheated. The way
So-
I don't think that it's fair to say one is worse than the other.
Yeah, I kind of agree. Because at first I was standing back there, I'm like, physical has to be worse. And I'm like, everybody has a different standard or a different experience. I can't say what's worse for somebody else, what maybe for me. The other thing is, I don't understand. I'm not sure I even know what emotional cheating actually
Thank you.
is.
That's what
I'm sitting there, I'm like, what is what is emotional cheating?
What
Yeah.
that means at all.
So emotional cheating, like when, let's say, you're going to someone and talking to them about the problems
Okay.
in your relationship, and they're offering that advice, they're offering you comfort,
They give you everything that you want.
yeah, that you're desiring
Okay,
at that
yeah,
point
yeah.
when you're actually supposed to be going to
To-
your spouse or to the person that you're with.
I agree with you, but I would take that a step further and say you can emotionally cheat and like they not know about your spouse or your partner. Like it's about having a relation, like you're talking to them with the way you talk to your partner. Because I have my my high school sweetheart. I was in love with someone else. I was in love with two
Damn.
people at the same time. It was
Oh.
complicated. But before anything ever physically
that would break
happened,
my
I was
heart.
emotionally cheating on my boyfriend at the time. Because I was talking to this guy like he was my boyfriend too. Even
That
though we
is
weren't
messed
together.
up, bro.
And I know people who have divorced who have left their marriages because it was like, well, I've fallen in love with someone else, even though we've never done anything physical. Whereas by that same token, you can also have like a one-night stand and it be purely physical and not emotional cheating at all.
It's funny because like it seemed like you're describing when you're trying to get to know about somebody because you want to date them. So that's why it's kind of like really.
Let me help you.
Yeah, it's kind of like confusing me.
Emotional cheating begins when you have a relationship with somebody that your partner is not aware of.
Okay.
And
A romantic relationship.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, I think lots of things. I look at lots of people. I expect that whoever I'm with is thinking whatever they're thinking while they're looking at people. And relationships that we all have with each other, you know, for me, like my girlfriends and I've been cheated on and cheated, and it's all complex and complicated and based on a case.
I love his hair.
basis. Until they take action, some kind of action where they're physically engaging with another person, they're not cheating on me as far as I'm concerned, because they're living life as a human being and they're just feeling and thinking and
Okay.
fantasizing.
I agree.
And doing all
I
the things
fantasize
that
a
we
lot.
do 'cause
I
we're
fantasize a
human
whole
beings. That's what we do.
Okay.
And that's how you feel.
Yeah.
about it.
That's
say,
how I
yeah,
feel about it. That's why I said it about 3 or 4
As someone
times.
who has cheated, did you feel, if you've ever felt some type of way, whether it be guilt or anything, did you feel worse about emotionally cheating or physically cheating?
I've never emotionally cheated. I'm a human being and I live my life. And if I think something or I have a relationship with her where I'm telling her about my relationship and I'm falling in love with her, that's okay. I can feel that. But until I do something about it,
Okay.
I haven't cheated. I haven't done anything to my partner.
I've been cheated on multiple times, you know? So it's just like, and it's always been like a physical thing, and it's really hurt me. And that's why I think the physical is worse for me personally than maybe the
Emotional, yeah,
but I can
100%.
totally see both sides.
Yeah.
Because emotional is, sorry, yeah. But
Because if it's emotional, your partner will never know.
Too, but for me, the thing that
'Cause they didn't
sets
tell you.
my like romantic relationship apart from a best friendship is the intimate, physical stuff. For me, I can have tight relationships with other guys, but I'm not going to go sleep with them because I'm not.
Or yeah, 100%.
Oh, I'm still very close with my high school sweetheart. We're
Totally.
very good friends.
Oh,
And I
bro.
have exes too that I can be like, we're chill, you
And
know,
then-
but I'm not gonna go hook up with you in the car. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right,
Like,
and we have that trust. Like
Yeah.
I said, I think.
Are you sure?
It's situational. It's for some people, emotional cheating might be worse. For some people, physical cheating might be worse. For
Physical
some
cheating
people,
is
it's the
worse.
same.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Let's move on to the next problem.
Okay.
I would date someone who cheated on others in the past.
Would I date somebody
That
who
was so
cheated
fast.
on their partner in
I
the
agree
past?
wholeheartedly. A person's past is indicative of who they were at that point in time, not necessarily who they want to become or who they are.
It was
in the
scary.
moment.
I'm gonna be honest. It would scare me. Like if I asked you the question, I think honestly I would say, hey, even if I told the guy, I was like, hey, have you ever cheated on someone? Blah blah blah. He said, okay, I won't even talk about him. I'll just basically say, hey, have you cheated on your partner? And if they say yeah, I will be so scared to be with them because it's like, will this person cheat on me? So that one, I don't know.
I think what's most important is who we are in the present moment.
I agree too because I believe people can change.
They can.
I've changed. So I believe that. Now, can you make someone change? Like,
No.
you know, obviously
Hell
not.
no.
But I agree that.
No, I agree wholeheartedly. I feel like if somebody did something, you know, say for example in their 20s and they're in their mid 30s now, I can't hold them to that past.
Right.
There's things that I've done, and so I feel like it would be wrong for a person to say, hey, you can't change, you can't come out of that, and so who am I to say?
I'm not saying you can't change. I'm just saying I'm scared that you're gonna cheat on me. So that's my own insecurity. You know, not them. Because maybe they did change.
Date you because
For me.
I'm not going to date you because you did something to somebody else. And I think those are things that you would only figure out like the surface level stuff early on anyway, before you get down to the deeper details.
I am currently dating somebody who used to cheat, maybe even worse than I did. And I mean, to your point about cheating in your 20s, I think the last time I cheated on anybody was maybe like 5 to 7 years ago.
Okay.
And, you know, like I was saying before, my partner and I, we made a commitment to each other to help each other be the best versions of ourselves that we can be. And I'm very secure in my relationship. I have my moments, but that has more to do with like me than it does.
What? Oh my God. See, I love her. I love her without even knowing her, and I'm not even judging. But people like this would scare me. I would always feel like I would always be scared. Like, hey, are they gonna cheat on me today? Hey, why are you? Oh my gosh. I couldn't be with somebody like that. Instantly break up. Instantly.
When he goes out, I'm like, oh, see you later. Like, it doesn't, there's no doubt in my mind that he is faithful.
Since I began my marriage as an affair, the man that I have been with for the last 10 years is the man that I cheated with. I proceeded to have 3 of his babies, and we now have a fabulous life.
My fucking gosh, bro. What? Oh. Oh. This is why I have a hard time in the dating world, because people, oh, bro, what? If my husband, I'm gonna say boyfriend first. If my boyfriend, husband has an affair with another woman and proceeds to go give that woman 3 kids and uses the word, and we now have a fabulous life, put me in a mental institution immediately. Immediately, what? Oh.
But in the beginning, the amount of paranoia and anxiety that came from the fact that you cannot control anybody else's behavior but your own was insane. And so I think coming to terms with accepting the realization that what is inside of my control and what is outside of my control was...
How is it outside of your control, bro?
Because again, I think we have
How is it outside of your control? You can control cheating on your freaking husband.
I disagree. I didn't hear the prompt. So.
I actually, yeah, I think I honestly.
I mean, everything everybody said sounds great on a Christmas card, I guess. Like, if I'm being honest, because at the end of the day, I think, I don't say that disrespectfully, I mean, at the end of the day, we all still are human beings, right? And we go off experience, okay? For instance, in my situation, I was married, but at the time, I didn't know how many times prior to that she cheated, right? So again, when you meet somebody, you don't straight away know off the bat, oh, they'd be cheating. As you go along and as you go through the situation, you start to go back to this conversations and stories you've had, and it's like, oh, that was the behavior that was always there, you just didn't know it, right? Would you take a banker who's stolen money in the past? You can't even be like, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Like, so I think it's situational, and how you meet the person and how you grow. Like, even you said, you had your affair, and now you're married with 10 years with 3 kids. It grew into something, but you started off with paranoia, but
Right.
It grew into something real, right?
Sick to my stomach.
Again, very situational.
I mean, it was even real in the affair, okay? So, like, I kind of want to get ahead of the narrative.
Yes,
that,
explain this to me.
People fall in love when they cheat because it's a fantasy. And I think if it were a fantasy, it wouldn't hurt so bad, right?
Yeah,
so,
true.
I really like to keep it in the reality sector. Just because I think it invalidates the experience, and what you just shared actually hits on the fact that your ex-wife, your ex-wife had serial cheating, and I am of the belief that serial cheating exists if you don't understand why you do it. So if we do not actually do the deep dive,
how do you not understand why you cheat? If you're a serial cheater, how do you understand why you don't know why you cheat? You cheat because you want to. Period.
Behave the way that we behave, we'll never be able to correct.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. The same way how you are faithful to the man that you had an affair with, I feel like you corrected that by being faithful to him, right? You're not stepping out of that marriage with somebody else, right? Okay. Let me calm down. I could... Okay. I love you, and I don't even know you. But I love me some Leon right now. Leon is my man. Anyway. she's kind of contradicting herself. I feel like what they should have asked her, well, are you okay? Wait, you're right, cause okay, maybe I'm confusing myself because she's talking about his ex-wife being a serial cheater, not her being a serial cheater. But at the same time, you can compare it and you can say, hey, well, were you able to correct you not cheating on your now husband? Period. 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 Period.
So from the beginning, she was deceitful with you, right? Like I think that if I
But
get the
you were
opportunity
also
in the
just.
future,
I get what
go into
she's.
another relationship, which is already disclosed on the internet, so whatever. But I'm going to be upfront, you know, like I have a history of deceiving people I love,
Oh.
and I'm capable of it.
But why? Why do you do it to people though?
Do any of you guys have kids?
We do.
Yes, we do.
And I
Damn.
think that brings up a whole nother dynamic for me when I went through mine, because I had kids involved, and that was kind of like, and you know, it's like, not saying that's worse or better, because cheating is cheating, regardless. But again, being real and being a human being, you're gonna react a different way because you've got kids involved.
So I'm gonna
Do you
expose
think you're
them.
going to be a lot more, you know, when you go and date again, will you be a lot more stringent on your requirements than now that you do have your own kids?
I think that's just a natural thing. Not
Exactly.
saying that's justifiable, but like you're gonna have standards. You've been through one thing. There's certain things that you're gonna not tolerate. The whole dating thing is kind of put on hold because my focus is on kids, especially in a society that downplays fathers in their kids' lives. And because I came from a two-parent household, I'm very like, I'm going to be there for my kids no matter what.
Period.
Like even right now, if they're called right now, I'll be out of here.
I
Period.
want to hear more from the disagreeers. Is that like a requirement now that if they were a cheater in the past, you won't even consider dating them, or is it case by case?
It's interesting. For me, I think it is case by case. The main reason for me disagreeing with this prompt is because it's about the serial cheating thing. Like the person who physically cheated on me was a serial cheater before me, and has continued to be like since our breakup. And I would never, ever touch that with a 10-foot pole again.
Period.
I
M.
was a serial
Period. Chris.
How'd you change?
Well, here's the thing.
I'm about to
Out here serial cheating with that good hair.
I'm the only child of a single mom, so there was no father at home. There was no example of what a healthy relationship is in terms of a man.
But, okay, I'm not knocking his experience, but it's the same thing for me, right? Both parents married, now divorced, raised by a very strong African-American mother. Love that woman down to the T, to the gods, right? But because I've witnessed their experiences and seen all the trials and tribulations that they went through and the positive and negative conversation, that would never make me go cheat on my man. Absolutely not. But again, I'm not knocking his experience. He's basically saying because he didn't see that healthy relationship growing up, kinda mean neither did I. I wouldn't be a serial cheater. I wouldn't be a serial cheater. I wouldn't.
So, and I grew up with a lot of female energy.
Me too.
My aunts and
But I get it.
mothers
He's
and
also a
stuff who were
man
all
too.
raising me, so
You know
I
what?
had a very-
Fuck no. I'm not gonna separate the two between man and woman, because even though that man, like I just said, even though that man was raised by his woman, no reason he should be cheating.
Emotional aspect.
Period. That's just how I feel. I'm sorry.
And so because of that, I craved female attention. And so whenever females would give me attention, it was just like, oh, if they wanted to do whatever, I was on board. I'm like, let's go. You know, it's life, and this is great. And then after after started to mature and grow up a little bit, I'm like, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel like the right thing to do, you know. I can't even explain it. It just kind of descended into my being. And I was like, this is not you. You're not this person. And that's where I found one sense of my character and integrity about myself.
Okay, period.
I am also a
Be
serial
clean.
cheater, and my partner was a serial cheater as well. And we were very
Oh my
honest
God,
from the
bro.
beginning, as soon as it
Bro.
was serious, you know, hey, I have this history. Oh, me too. And he was able to communicate to me, this is why I made these horrible choices. So I am confident that he wouldn't make those choices again.
For those who have been serial cheated and now found themselves or gone through and understand, I guess what would you say to the people who've been serial cheated on? Because it's interesting, like you guys have gone through something and you figured stuff out, and you always hear those people who was like, why am I always finding that guy or that girl and they're always cheating on me? Like how, what do you say to them?
And I'm speaking from experience, not with cheating, but with other things, that sometimes when someone has trauma from a relationship, that you enter your next relationship thinking, oh, this person's gonna save me. This is gonna be the person who fixes my trauma. And it becomes this cycle of trauma where that person then is like, oh, this person thinks of me as their savior, and they'll take advantage of that. And that is
No, that's not
like,
true.
I'm not victim blaming. That is not to say that like, and it's your fault.
No, it's not. Me personally, if you come with me with trauma based on another relationship, don't assume I'm gonna first of all, don't assume that I'm going to help fix that. Your trauma. I mean, if you're in a relationship, I guess you're supposed to help your partner, but that's bullshit. Cheating? How can you help cheating? How can you help that? Hey, be loyal to me. Hey, don't stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm not your mother, and you didn't give me a damn ring yet. Okay? So what? No. Oh.
The relationship thing.
Yeah.
What you're talking about is like in relationships when you find yourself finding the same kind of people, you have to stop finding people and go, what is it about me? What do I have to figure out about me and what's going on? And how I feel about other people and what my boundaries are and all kinds of things.
It's the types of energy that you might be unconsciously like
attracting.
For. Not even necessarily attracting, but like sometimes when a person is traumatized in a certain way, unconsciously. You will chase that
Looking
trauma
for it.
over
Exactly.
and over again.
Yeah.
But I think what you said about boundaries, I mean, that is the key. And I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, boundaries is not saying, like, you can't do this. Because you can't control other people, like you're saying. A boundary is like, if you do this, I'm not going to talk to you anymore. It's the consequence of the person crossing that boundary.
100%.
There are much worse things that can break a relationship than cheating.
Join our middle ground Patreon
100%.
to watch this exclusive prompt.
It's okay to express attraction to others while in a relationship.
Don't tell me no shit like that. Don't ever come to me and tell me you're attracted to another person. You want to know why? We won't be together again. Go have them. I'm very sensitive, and stuff like that is a trigger for me. Don't tell me no shit like that. Hell no. I'm sorry.
As the only person from the cheated on section,
Fuck no.
I
crazy?
think that it is okay because personally for me, again, like talking about how I think that relationships are built on honesty and communication.
Wait, no. Okay, now I'm contradicting myself because sometimes I say, hey, what's his name? I find a lot of I have celebrity crushes that I find attractive. Wait. I don't know. I feel like it's more sort of a respect thing. Because for the longest time, even in high school, I was attracted to Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't think I could tell my boyfriend or husband. I wouldn't say, hey, I'm attracted to Giannis Antetokounmpo. I love his muscles. I love when he dunks the ball. No, I wouldn't say that. I would keep it in my head. So that goes back to, that mental thing of, you can... But that's not even mentally... Oh, am I contradicting myself now? Basically, I wouldn't say it out loud. It would be an internal thought. But if I wouldn't verbally say that, and I would not like my partner to verbally tell me no shit like hell to the no.
Know that you have attraction to someone, then you just keep that on the back burner and not tell me. Let me know. Let me know. Attraction is human. Love is only human. Desire is human. I have not cheated on anyone. I have absolutely no plans to cheat on anyone. But if I found someone attractive, I would tell my partner. My current girlfriend is amazing, and I would hope that she would feel open in telling me that as well. And I like to open a lot of my conversation. I mean, a lot of my relationships with that conversation, and just be like, hey, can you just let me know if anything goes that way?
100%.
Well, I love what you just said because it really speaks volumes to your individual security in revealing your authentic self inside of your relationship. So well done, you. I also think that if we have an innate response to something that we see and we actually don't give it voice to it, we're ultimately putting ourselves in a place of denial.
I'm not denying it. I'm 100% attracted to Yams Antetokounmpo. I'm just saying I'm not going to verbally tell him that I am. Because I want to respect his I want to respect our relationship. I don't want him to tell me he's attracted to Megan Thee Stallion and she has a fat ass of the gods. Well, no, I wouldn't say that any god in heaven has a fat ass because I don't know. But, you get what I'm saying? Okay.
The denial is not just a river in Egypt. And what
denial is a river
you
in
start
Egypt.
suppressing
Your
yourself
husband
and
is
making
gay.
yourself smaller for the comfort of having your relationship, which then means your relationship becomes the goal rather than you being an individual who can be seen, valued, and understood inside of the relationship.
You know, me and my partner have shared these things, but like I also have struggled with my own insecurities, and so he always makes sure to add in like, but like you know. So I think it depends on who it is, but I think I agree that yes, it is obviously healthier to give voice because then of course like if I don't know, let's say my partner finds someone attractive and I catch him looking, and then I'm like, why are you know what I mean? And so then I might get suspicious. It's like, why have you not said anything to me?
But wouldn't you say that your insecurities are for you to manage, not your partner?
Oh yeah. No, yeah.
No.
I mean that's
No. I think it's for him to manage too. It's for him to manage as well. It's not just for me to manage. Because look, I would go into a relationship and tell them that I have all these insecurities and I would want reassurance. I would say, hey, I know my girl is so insecure. In a perfect world, right? Hey, my girl is insecure. Let me not be disrespectful and look. You know what I'm saying? Or, what am I trying to say? It's not for me to manage. It's for him and me to be respectful to each other in a perfect world. In a perfect world, if I could find somebody that really knows me, like knows me mentally, just like, hey, I know Armarion would not accept this, or like, I know she would hate this. I know that this is how it would make her feel. Let me not do it. In a perfect world. In a perfect world. It's not just for me to manage. It's not just for me to manage. Hell no.
Him or her changing their behavior because of your insecurities would lead them to a place of inauthenticity.
No, it would not. I'm not telling them to change. I'm just saying respect me. I'm just saying respect me. You can still be you. You can still be you. But if you know me and you know like my triggers, don't do stuff like that.
Well, I want to make it very clear. I didn't ask him to do that.
Oh, okay,
That just comes from him. And maybe it comes from him because he knows I've struggled with insecurities, but I haven't said to him, and you need to do this. That's not.
Okay.
It's just,
I wouldn't say that. I'm not bossing him
For
around.
me,
I'm
it's
just
like when
letting
I
him
start a
know. It's just
relationship,
like,
I want communication.
yeah, it's communication.
It's very important that we're able to talk with each other about everything because we're two human beings who have feelings, and unless you act on those feelings, you know, and sometimes I think talking about it can keep you from acting on it as well. You know, all that openness can keep things, you know,
Yeah.
I think it can help.
Well, the partner that physically cheated on me, I don't know if she's fully polyamorous, but that's sort of where she tends to lean, and I knew that going in, but she was not being real with me about it. So, like, I would rather you come tell me when you find someone attractive, and we discuss the possibility of even trying that, then you should just go behind my back and not do that. Because I don't think that I'm poly, but like, I would rather have honesty and communication and openness.
And that is cheating.
Yes.
I think if somebody is polyamorous and they're not honest,
And they're not honest about it.
that is
That
absolutely.
is cheating, 100%.
Because I am queer, I often will find like women and non-binary people attractive, and my partner is a male, and he's very okay with that, and not in like a gross creepy.
Oh, so she cheats with women. Okay, I thought she was cheating with men.
But like he understands that like I'm also going to be attracted to like these other genders, and so
That's
us
crazy.
discussing
That's
you know,
crazy.
who we find attractive is a very natural part of the relationship.
Yeah, it's like discussing, day-to-day life, I think.
And I reassure him too. I'm always like, you're the best.
Do you want to take a second to touch on something that I think is really important? I'm a huge advocate for mental health on this page. You guys already know, especially.
I personally don't believe that there should be any attraction to anyone, especially for marriage, speaking on marriage. I
Oh gosh, they're sitting next to each other.
believe in monogamy, we believe in man and wife. And I do believe that we should not have any type of attraction to anyone. It leads to problems. And it
100%,
absolutely can lead
100%.
to, even cheating. Yeah, if you are feeling that way in your relationship, then obviously that does need to be expressed. But that tells a lot about, hey, there's something deeper going on in your relationship that needs to be fixed.
So you're saying, like, you walk down the street, you've never seen, an attractive man and been like, oh, like, that man's hot. Never.
I don't look at other men and think that, I can't do that especially being a Christian. I can't look at other men and say like, oh, that man is, if I can't be sexually, I'm not
because
sexually
you're a
attracted.
Christian, or is it because you're you?
Now it's because I am a believer, and I do believe in the cross. I believe in Jesus Christ, and I believe that He is my Savior. He's my Lord and Savior.
Period.
And I believe in the Bible. I believe in the whole Bible, not just a little bit of the Bible, but the whole entire Bible.
Period.
Because part of me is like, no, but part of me is like, yes, because we are human beings, and attraction is part of life. So I will say that. It's funny, that worked against me, meaning most of us, when you go out and date somebody, I'm assuming you find them very attractive, right? So in my head, I'm going to expect people to look at my wife or girlfriend as they're walking down the street, and even though sometimes it's rude to make certain comments. I've been in that, but I was the kind of person where I was like, I didn't care, because as far as I know, she's with me and she's going to get looks.
Yeah.
But because I didn't react, that was a problem. Because I didn't get jealous. And I'm like, why am I jealous? I'm with you. This is where I got confused. Are people just coming up in your relationship saying, hey, he's attractive, she's attractive, she's like, how does that work?
I mean,
personally.
My boyfriend's the same way. He is like,
He's looking at other people?
like, he wants me to like go out and people look at me, and
What?
I think that's, of course, sometimes I
To each
I
its
want
own.
him to be a little, of course, yeah, of course, a little bit. But I actually think that's right. I actually think that's a healthy way to go, is to be secure in the relationship, be like, yeah, my partner is hot and I get to be with them. I think that's a healthy way to go.
And my other question is this in the same line as emotional cheating? Because I've just kind of learnt the definition of that, and then you just said that, and I'm seeing back, and I'm like, wait, it sounds like emotional cheating.
No, I would say
I'm confused.
emotional cheating is like you're developing a romantic connection with another person.
And emotional cheating is also secretive most of the
Yes.
time.
Okay.
Ah,
Having an open
secretive.
conversation with your
Emotional cheating is secretive. Okay. So, okay, I have a question, right? So if it's... Would you consider... Say if you're emotional, right? You and that person know that you both, I guess you could say, emotionally cheating. Would that also... And of course, the person that they're with doesn't know. Would that also include them, like, texting somebody else? Would that still be also emotionally cheating? Or are we now stepping into physical cheating? Or are we considering physical cheating only being intimate? I don't know.
like, I mean, it's you watch a movie and you're like, oh, the actress is kind of hot.
Yeah.
Honestly,
like,
true.
With my current boyfriend, I am honest. We honestly make jokes about it sometimes. Like, I was like, oh, are you into her? Are you into her? And he's like, no, but like obviously
Good answer.
I know that he like might think that she's pretty, but that's attraction. That's a physical attraction. There's so much more to a relationship that you can bank on. It's like an emotional thing, or like, are you there for me when I call you?
One question. Do you think, based on that, do you think that's a healthier way? In that, sometimes you might joke about it, that, out of our choice that we might find someone attractive, or to just keep that hidden into yourself?
Well, okay, so I think you should definitely, like, if it's a celebrity or something, like, obviously I'm not gonna go and, like, and two, I think, too, like, when you're saying attraction, there's attraction and then there's sexual attraction.
Okay.
So I think that there needs to be, they're two different things. I used to tell him, like, oh my God, when I was little, I used to love, like, Raspy, Chris Brown, all of them, like, I used to think that they were so, like, handsome, but, like, in my marriage, I
100%.
I don't see another man and be like, ooh, like I'm telling you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yeah.
If you guys are done talking, I don't want to interrupt.
Do you have something to say?
Yeah, and so I think that also defining it within your relationship is very important
Yeah,
too. So like
totally. What
to
works
say
for you?
exactly. So we may look at the terminology different, and so like for us, for example, if I say that I'm attracted to somebody, and we had to break this down even in our relationship. If I say I'm attracted to somebody, that means that I'm willing to pursue them, just within us. That's what we came to an agreement of. Now I may say like, oh, they have a nice hairstyle, or they have nice eyes, or something like that. That's just a quick acknowledgement, and we may compliment them on it and just keep it moving. And that's just in our definition of what we have within our marriage.
So sticking to my anti-inflammatory diet so easy. I just started an anti-inflammatory diet, and if
So it sounds like both of them are still working on their marriage. Kudos to them. And I said prior, like if the person cheats on you, you can either walk away or you can fix it. They're clearly fixing it, and kudos to them. 100%, I respect that.
Cheat on someone, you are not in love with them.
If you cheat on someone, I don't necessarily think you're not in love with them. I just think you don't respect them.
Oh no.
Agreeers?
You don't respect them.
Apologies.
You are not.
That doesn't mean you don't love them. You just don't respect them. You don't respect them at all.
I stuttered because I was trying to think, in their own right, they may think they're in love, but as a flat statement,
I
I
want
don't think they are. If you really are truly in love, it's all you think about is that other person, right? Or you want to be with them, you want to try and do right with them, even though there may be certain things you do up and down that may not displease them, but you're learning together. But going out and being unfaithful to them and then turning around saying you still love them, it just doesn't sit right with me.
Okay, I agree. I can agree. I agree what he's saying. I get it.
In that aspect. Thoughts?
Okay.
Because I know you're itching.
I'm itching. I think that falling in love is an experience. In my experience, I had never encountered the experience of falling in love. I can say with certainty today that my episode of cheating was definitely the experience of falling in love. When I was with the partner that I cheated on, it was a part of a plan. There was
What?
a plan to get married. There was a plan to have
Oh,
plan
she
to-
just breaks my heart. She breaks my heart. She breaks my heart, and I am rooting for her all the way. But baby, does she break my heart? It was a plan. What?
Everything we did was in the best interest of each other. Whereas the aspect of falling in love, there was no plan. I crossed paths with somebody who lit my soul on fire, and all logic went out the window.
Was that love though or lust?
Oh, it was so much. It was so much. So I think that when I think of the word love now, I actually replace it with the word want. I think that the statement that was made about not being in love with somebody, right? That doesn't necessarily mean that I don't have capacity or capability to love him. I certainly was loving him in other ways.
So you don't love
I think
him?
we all do this. We kind of like try to figure out what the statement means and reading into it.
Love is love. Love is literally love. Love is love. The word love. What does love mean? Now I'm fucking confused. Love, I'm gonna say what I think love is. Love is an emotion, a connection that you share with another person, whether it be emotionally or physically. Combine them into two. Love. That's my definition of love. She's saying I was in love with him in other ways. No. Love is being in you can be in love with a friend, you'll love them a different way. But the person that you go home to and you sleep at night with, that's a different type of love. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like she's confusing me. Like, I understand what she's saying, but she's confusing me in a way where basically she's not justifying that her cheating was okay, but there's like this philosophy, a psychological like reason for why she cheated and how it's okay and how she shouldn't be conformed to all these type of stereotypes and words and stuff. And I guess you could say she's, you know, I feel like she might be remorseful. Hopefully she was remorseful. And you know what you get what I'm trying to say?
The flat statement, I don't think all that's entailed. Because again, there's different types of love. There's also each person's way they look at love, what you think love is.
Exactly.
At what age. Love may be one thing that even now you just said, now you look at love a different way. So it gets kind of complicated. But at the base level, I think, I just feel like it's like, nah, you didn't really love them.
Exactly.
Even on your own.
You didn't love them. Because she just said, I loved him in a different way than I love the man that I'm now who just sets my soul on fire. 100%. 100%.
To you, think about what love means to you. When you cheated, did you meet that standard of what love meant?
Yeah, I think what's tricky about it, right, was since I had, I'll say, these idols of marriage, family, you know, all of that, I was more in love with the idea of what those things were than the person that I put into the role.
Which there's
right.
nothing wrong with that, because again, we all come from
So, but being able to kind of look back and compare, I think that comparison is the thief of joy, right? And what it does is it steals all of the value from the experience that was still very much valid.
Yeah, no one's saying it might not be valid, but was it still love though?
No.
Like I said,
I don't know if.
And it's hard to. I get what you're saying. You don't know because again, you were in that. When you were in there, you were in it, and you've grown, and you moved, and you've changed.
Does that satisfy your question?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree. I don't think that you can be in love and cheat on somebody.
Okay.
I want to respond to something you said. That
He did not want to sit next to his wife.
Okay.
He did not want to sit next to her. Look at his
I don't think that
face.
you can be in love and cheat on somebody.
Look at his face. He did not want to sit next to her. Okay. Look. Okay, I'm gonna go sit over here. Look, happy to get away, happy to get away, happy to get away, happy to get away. She gets up to move out of respect for them sitting together. Look at his face. Okay, she's going to go sit where I want to sit. Now I have to go sit back to the person that cheated on me. It's not funny. It's not, wait. It's not funny. Look at him like, or maybe he doesn't want to sit next to her. Okay. He's like, damn.
Okay, right in there. No, you said that when you're in love with somebody, they're all you think about, that you just want to be with that person all the time. And I vehemently disagree with that. I think, and for me, so I disagree with this, I can say that I really, truly did love the people, or I should say most of the people, that I cheated on in those relationships. I based my value and I based my identity on those relationships. That person was all I thought about. And it almost was like I trapped myself. It was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, and then I sought outside of that relationship. I think that they say like someone shouldn't be your universe. They should be a planet in your universe. So it's like I have friends. Sometimes I'm just like, bye, you know, and I go hang out with my friends. You know, my family is very important to me. He is not my world, and this.
Damn. Even though it's the most healthy relationship, he's not your world. I wonder if she would feel that way if that was her husband. See, people like her, if she was a man, she would break my heart. I was like, if she was a guy, he would break my heart. He would break my heart. Because it's like nothing is ever good enough for her. Like, you could come with so much in the relationship. You can be, I don't know, loving. You can give her the world, and it still wouldn't be enough. And I feel like that's just how people are. That's how people are. You could give them so much. You could give them the world. You could be, and it's still not good enough. That's what she's giving me. But I love that she's honest about it. I feel like she would tell you if she cheated on you. Like, I feel like if I would walk away with that relationship heartbroken, but I know she didn't lie about it. I know she didn't sugarcoat it. She told me everything that I asked her to tell me. But damn.
are my universe.
Now I was saying that more metaphorically, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But even in that, you were infatuated and everything.
Nothing is ever good enough for her.
Then the question is, were you in love?
That's a good point.
I'm just asking that
Yes.
just based on what you're saying.
Like in my first serious relationship, for sure, I was in love with him, and he was my first real love, and I was in love with him, and I still made the choice to cheat. It was a choice I made. It was a selfish choice. I felt extremely guilty afterwards. So I think it depends, but I think you absolutely can be in love with somebody and still make bad choices based on selfishness, anger, insecurity,
100%.
whatever it
100%.
may be.
I believe that we can grow in love. I believe that there is portions of our love that's lacking, and then we can actually grow in that. So I don't believe that just because you cheated on someone doesn't mean that you don't love them. I believe that that there can be love there, but there's something there that just is causing that portion of it to just be almost like in depletion.
So
Like,
instead of
I couldn't
cheating,
look
why just not break up with him or her, whoever you want to be with? I couldn't fully love him.
him fully the way that he needed to, because there was something there that was lacking. Like
What was lacking?
I didn't have the understanding of, what it meant to be a wife, what it meant to be a partner.
Falling in love is not a choice. You meet someone, it happens for whatever reason, you're compatible. Staying in love is a choice.
Mm-hmm.
You are choosing, and perhaps in that moment, you are not choosing to love that person. You're choosing not to love that person, and then maybe you can choose to love them again. I'm not saying falling in love, but to continue loving somebody is an action.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that falling in love is a choice.
Oh, okay.
And the reason that I think falling in love is a choice is because
I agree.
you allowed it,
Yeah.
right? Like, when I think about the experience that I had full autonomy in that situation, right? I could have immediately went to my husband and said, I caught something. There's something magical here. I gotta go.
But you caught, and that's what I'm saying.
She said, "I
was
gotta
still
go."
We were not together. I
Holy
was still
shit.
talking to my ex when I met my current partner, and I told my current partner at the time, I don't want to be serious with you. I never intended to catch feelings with my current partner. I just kind of fell in love with this guy.
It's interesting. The prompt is in love.
I need the people who were cheated on to stand up. Stand up with 2 feet and look at these cheaters in the eyes and say, what the fuck are you talking about?
People didn't use that when they were talking. They're saying love, not in love. And to me, in love and love are 2 different things. I fall in love with a human being with
people who
other
got cheated
humans,
on are
men,
down
women, whatever.
a million
I fall in
points.
love very easily. I believe
Down
in
a
love
million
was the driving
points.
force
The
in
cheaters
my
are
life.
taking over. They took
So
over this
I
whole
was in love
podcast
with
or
every
video.
woman that I cheated on. I was in love with them. If I loved them truly, that would have been a different story, maybe. But to me,
his was just
So
lust.
your
Being in
capacity to
and
love change.
and you love somebody.
It's so interesting because I actually, in my mind, view it like the opposite. Like, I love so many people.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
I love my friends. I love my family. I love people that I'm like, oh, we've just met and I love you. Like, in love, when you fall in love, you're in love with somebody. It stirs something up. It's different.
I think we get to semantics.
Yeah, right. No, it's
it's
totally semantic. I just thought it was interesting.
I feel like we should bring up limerence maybe for a second. We're all talking about falling in love. I feel like textbook psychology brings up limerence all the time, and they actually kind of just like shirk the entire affair experience under this word. And
It's the world that doesn't know what limerence.
limerence is a chemical reaction inside of your brain in the very
Let's read this. Limerence is an involuntary potential inspiring state of adoration and attachment to a limerent object involving intrusive and obsessive feelings, thoughts, feelings, and behaviors from euphoria to despair, cognate or perceived emotion, reciprocation. Who said this? William Lynn.
stages of
What?
a relationship. So
Okay.
it occurs between mother and child during birth. And what they say, or what a lot of people say, is that limerence is actually to blame for.
Limerence is not to blame. Oh my. Blame this on the word. Blame this on the definition. Blame cheating on the definition.
But I am. They say that limerence is actually the reaction that is at play psychologically between affair partners because it creates this infatuation. It creates all the ecstasy feelings of being in love. So
It's like a drug.
Do you guys know the
Clearly,
limerence
cheating is a
object
drug.
limerence addiction.
100%.
Do you guys know the 70-30 theory? It's like the layman's
Yeah.
number. Yeah. That you're in a relationship with someone and you love them and they have 70%, because nobody's perfect. They have 70% of the things that you're looking for, and then you meet someone that has that missing 30%. And you're like, oh, this person has everything that I'm missing. And then you go and you cheat with that person as that 30%, and then you realize, oh shit.
They ain't got that 70%.
Yeah, the 70% is gone now. Yeah.
I'm gonna start calling my husband the 30%er.
Damn, what a knock at her. Well, it's not a knock. Oh, I don't even want to say these people are so heartless because they probably forgave and the person that they cheated on with, they probably forgave them. Oh gosh, Mamma Mia.
I would rather not know that I was cheated on.
No, tell me so I can leave. Tell me so I can leave.
It's lonely up here.
So I can run
so
away.
I think my perspective on this has shifted quite a bit after the last year since I've been dialoguing so much with both betrayers and the betrayed party.
Don't stay with me, because then you
I
got...
think that there's slight benefit.
Tell me that you cheated on me, because then I would hate to find out that you want to get married, you have these kids now. Tell me immediately after it happens so that I can pack up and bounce. Period.
What the person who has been betrayed, if the betrayer has already come to a decision about leaving the relationship, I think that our whole truth is not necessarily a obligation to give to everybody.
Did you let your husband know when you cheated, or your ex-husband know when you cheated on him?
Yeah, I told
How did that conversation?
It was awful. It was horrible.
I
It
bet.
felt like I was giving him more information than he needed.
What? She's pissing me off. How can you cheated on your husband? He deserves to know all of the information. He deserves to know everything from A to Z, from 1 to 100. What? You cheat on me and you don't think I deserve an explanation. You're out of your mind.
Happened was fell in love with a colleague overseas. I was like, there's no way this can be happening. I am married. I can't do this. And then I slept with him and I went back home and I moved out. And I said, okay, I cannot be trusted with this person. And I disclosed everything and dropped the hammer and then just went on my way to an apartment by myself.
These two?
If you have cheated on somebody, the psychological effects on that person need to be considered. Your perception of everything that had occurred is tainted because you're wondering, well, was she thinking about me in this picture that we took? Was she thinking about him? And I think that there is just a lot to consider when you are deliberating on how much and what to share.
I love everything you just said. I agree, but with like a caveat of, I'm thinking of this from the cheater's perspective. I always told my partners when I cheated on them, but I told them for the wrong reasons.
What?
I told them to alleviate my own guilt. And when the fact is, I should have just ended the relationship.
Thank you.
And so my thing is, I wouldn't want my partner to tell me just so they could beg me for my forgiveness and let's move forward, I would only want them to tell me in the context of like, and I'm breaking up with you. Like, and no like details or anything. It would just be like, I'm breaking up with you. Oh my God, why? I cheated. and I obviously can't be with somebody that I would cheat on. Like that would be so yes, I would want them to tell me, but like only in that context of like I cheated, we have to break up.
Okay, I like that too.
I believe you owe it to that person no matter what. I believe that the person that you cheated on needs to know, and not only that, it's
100%.
secrecy, like that it hurts so much more
When you don't tell
when
them.
you're keeping it a secret from them and not telling them anything. I truly believe in confession. I believe that needs to be said.
100%.
And they need to know that. They need to know that.
Yeah, I know you mentioned
hiding
like
that.
psychological damage. How would you respond to that?
I would say it is not my place to dictate what somebody else needs. It's their place to tell me what they need.
She pisses me off. No, it's... Calm down, Armarion. Calm down. It's not that deep. It's not that deep, bro. Nobody's cheating on you. You know, this is just a video you're watching. And just, you know, say what's on your mind calmly without being rah, 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 rah. Okay, here we go. It is your place. Because once you decided to say I do, and once he decided to say I do, you are now, like, you are one. You are one now. It is not a, well, I can do this on my time, he can do this on their time. No, everything needs to be communicated with each other. Everything needs to be not about what you think. It needs to be about, well, it needs to be a it needs to be a we. When you think now, it's not just you thinking. Your brain is in my brain now. So now I have two brains. Now, you get what I'm saying? I'm thinking for you. Everything needs to be talked about. And that's why, okay, yes, I understand what she's saying, but at a point I don't. Because it's like, I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do what I want to do regardless. That's why I just don't understand. Like, what? What are you saying? It's not my place for me to tell you what I need. You need to tell me that. What? What? What are you talking about? It's their place to tell me what they need. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's in your place to tell me that you cheated, and it's in your place for you to break down like a storyline when you okay, let me I went to film school, right? So before you create anything, I'm gonna talk about animation. Before you animate anything, you need to come up with a storyline, right? You need to draw the pictures out, figure out, hey, this is the first scene, this is the second scene, this is the third scene, this is the fourth scene, and so on, right? So basically you're breaking down basically how you met this person, right? And then you go and you get the drafts from like your peers or like your professors. Oh, okay. This is basically the husband responded. Oh, okay, so you did this, blah, 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 okay, blah, 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 blah. So then next, once all that's good, then we can go to the computer. Now we can digitalize everything. Now we can get to our pixel sizes, or like what color we want the characters to look, how we want them to walk. You need to break all that shit down, okay? You need to break it down. Period. Period. She is selfish. I love her. I don't like her ways. I don't respect her ways. But I respect her opinion, because at the end of the day, she's being real. Just like I'm being real right now. And she can probably say, if she ever watches this video, she doesn't respect what I say, but I understand what she's saying, and she has every right to feel how she feels, how she wants to move. As do all the people that are here today talking. And so do I, but don't ever feel like that person that you cheated on doesn't deserve answers. Sorry.
Initially telling them that, hey, I stepped out and I cheated on you, is a necessity. Just
Period.
Point blank.
Period.
Now, how far you go into details is going to then at that point be, okay, how much does that person ask to where they may want to try and figure out, okay, why did this happen? What happened? Who did it happen with?
Period.
When? If they ask those questions, then I think you definitely owe it to them to answer,
Period.
regardless of what you
Period.
feel like. For to your point where you brought up psychologically, I feel like at that point, once you already cheated, like psychologically,
tell me
you've
everything.
already taken a lot of damage, so
Right.
therefore we still have to.
If you don't know about it, it doesn't do any damage.
Well,
But why would you not communicate that? Is that your way of saying, hey, I cheated and I still want to work this out with my husband? Are you scared of losing him? That's the reason why you're not communicating that with them?
One thing, you did say, I don't want to be with someone who cheated on me, right? So, but you agreed that you would never tell the person, right? If you cheated on them. So let's say you're in a
I didn't say
relationship.
that.
Well, but you came forward as an agreeer,
Yes.
right? And then just before we all came forward, you said, I would never want to be in a relationship with someone who cheated on me. And if they neglected to tell you that, then you would technically be in a relationship
Well, then
with
I
someone
wouldn't.
who cheated on you.
Then I'll say I wouldn't want to be in a relationship with somebody I know cheat on me, and that's why I'm saying.
Got it.
So I guess I'm not agree or disagree. I'm more in the middle of
Totally.
like I would want them to tell me I cheated on you, and therefore like we should break up.
In my situation, I found out. But if I'm being honest with you, I don't know if it would have been worse or better if they told me. I'm being honest with you. I don't even know how to comprehend that. Like me finding out, then you bold-faced coming to me and saying, I did this, this, and this.
It doesn't change the outcome.
Yeah, it's like, I don't think it makes any... Me
Well,
personally, I
that
don't
can be
know.
subject to any, like,
Yeah.
you know, everybody. Like, but at the end of the day, I feel like when you're holding something back from, it's honestly you're not even taking accountability for what you did. So if you're gonna say like I'm not gonna tell them because of psychological damage,
Hold on.
you chose to cheat.
Hold on. Disclosing that you cheated to the person that you cheated on is not accountability. That is just revealing
That is
information.
taking accountability.
Exactly.
Accountability.
I would consider that as a form of taking accountability. You're so open.
That's delivering
You're open
the-
about this. Listen,
That's delivering.
It's still taking accountability. You're delivering the news. You're basically just saying, hey, I cheated. That's the bad news. You're still telling me, hey, I cheated. That's just like a baby. Did you poop on yourself? Wait, no, the baby comes. Mom, I pooped on myself. And, I pooped on your pillow, right? The mom, you pooped on my pillow? Yes, I pooped on my pillow. Okay, thank you for telling me you pooped on my pillow. Now let's go fix the poopy diaper. Accountability, because that baby could have easily said, no, I didn't poop. Of course, maybe I shouldn't use the baby because babies, they're not really there. Their brain isn't fully developed. But you're teaching the child to take accountability. So yes, they're taking accountability because if the baby hadn't said, I pooped on your pillow, the mom could have easily walked in there and accused anybody of doing anything or said, who did this? Who did that? You get what I'm saying? I don't know.
that is
It's
a
the
form
first
of
step
taking
towards
a
accountability.
Thank you.
It's the first
It's a
step.
first step to
It's interesting.
Not necessarily
100%.
accountability.
Be open about this one.
Let's let her
man.
respond. Let's let her respond.
Be open.
Period.
Open.
Period.
I
Period.
Saying
Clocker.
very
Clocker.
confident about it.
Clocker.
Like it's hypocritical. So when you're saying like I have the right to withhold this information for the sake of psychological damage, but you chose to cheat.
You're talking about the benefits for you. You're alleviating your guilt by telling somebody what you did. You are achieving relief by doing a confession. And what I'm saying is, maybe it doesn't have to be that person.
What?
As someone who's been cheated
was
on,
about to ask the same question. Oh.
I guess who else would you tell?
I would tell a therapist. I would go and I would
You will
check
go
myself
talk
in
to
a
somebody except for the person that you did it to. You will rely on their opinion based on working it out with your husband or your girlfriend or whoever. Crazy.
therapist. I would say, holy I derailed
But I mean, I feel
my
like
life.
people, I'm gonna respect it because some people, they just need. Oh my God, I don't know. I just feel like when you marry somebody or like if you're in a relationship with somebody, you should feel comfortable just relying with them. But I don't know what their situation was like. I don't know what anybody's situation was like. But if you can't come to your person and tell them, or you can even talk to them or be honest with them about what you did, then maybe you don't need to be with them at all. If you feel like you need to go to a freaking therapist instead of just talking to me, or like you don't feel like you could be honest and tell me everything that you did, that's crazy. That is crazy.
I don't know what I'm doing. But I don't want to
even
cause
then-
any more damage, and therefore...
But the damage
please
is
call me back.
already done. The damage is already done, though. So just tell me everything. Just tell me everything.
In my next steps.
How
A good
much more selfish
therapist
is that though?
will
That is very
allow-
selfish.
It's still. It's
Oh, I'm
still a
very
form of
selfish.
selfishness.
I
Actually, to be honest,
Okay.
my number one priority is me.
Oh,
And
okay.
that was the biggest lesson I
And
learned.
is it still
about
like that in
cheating.
your relationship today?
Absolutely.
Well,
If I want to show up to a thriving relationship requires a fulfilled individual. And if I do not have me at the primary center of my decisions, I will start making decisions for other people.
What the
And what
fuck?
that means is they start to lead my life.
no.
I don't.
I think I've changed my opinion. It didn't occur to me the idea of like
That's
finding it. Like that just didn't.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
if it's for me,
fucked.
if it's between walking in on my partner cheating, I mean that would just traumatize me. Versus like my partner coming to me and saying, "Listen, I cheated." I would prefer the latter. I would want the choice. Do I want to move forward in this relationship or do I want to break up? And I would want to give my partner that same choice to put the ball in their court and say, this happened. This is how I feel about it, which might be like, and we need to break up, or I don't want to break up, or whatever it is. I did this. This is how I feel. How do you feel? Do you want to stay with me? Do you want to work this out or not?
when you tell the other person, I'm always curious, like, what do you expect from the other person? And that's where I start to question, are you doing it for selfish reasons? Because I expect them to say, you know what, we'll work through it.
I don't think you can expect anything.
Which is,
You have to go on without
but I'm
expectations.
curious, like, at the time, can you recollect or remember what you were
Oh, at the
thinking?
time?
The time, yeah. What you
When
were thinking when you said, I'm going to tell?
There were times I cheated that I did not tell my partners. So I'm thinking about that too now. When I told my partners that I cheated,
Partners.
it was out of guilt. It was out of shame.
Plural, not
And
singular.
I wouldn't necessarily say expectation, but my hope was that they would forgive me.
Okay.
And I guess that maybe.
Wait, I have a question really quick. Did telling them eliminate your shame and guilt?
No, of course not.
I'm curious
It doesn't
if you're
matter.
I'm curious if you're open.
Wait, let's actually dig into that. I guess what was kind of like the point there?
If you are disclosing information to somebody else in effort of releasing something that you feel is holding you back, shame and guilt, that is actually not the effective solution.
But you have to understand, shame and guilt is a human reaction. It's a form of emotion. It comes with the territory. It comes with the consequences. You can't run away from that. We've been they've been talking about this word emotion. There's still going to be emotions involved. You can't run away from emotions. People, we're human. We make emotions. We feel emotion, or we feel emotion when we get burned. We feel emotion when we cry. We feel emotion when we laugh. You will still feel things emotionally, psychologically. Because it takes 5 seconds for you to react to something or something like that. You get what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The effective solution is
Doesn't
going
matter.
into the shame and guilt,
Period.
acknowledging it, and understanding why it's there. Shame tells me I am not aligned with my value system and the way that I operate in the world.
But you're missing the point of the other person's time. You've pretty much ruined their life. You've used up their time.
No.
Yes.
So you don't think you?
Wait a second.
Go ahead.
I think that the only person who has the power to destroy my life is me.
I mean, you can say that. You can say that now as a person who's grown and gone through something. But when you're in the situation, when you're in a relationship with somebody and they don't know that you're cheating on them, you think you owe that to.
Why would I develop a dependency for my life's purpose?
But it's all I hear is me. What about the other person? I keep saying when you're married, or when you're married, it's not about you. It's about the both of y'all.
It's a dependency.
No, it sounds like you're trying to say that I should just be able to do whatever I want. How you take it is all up to you, but I'm going to have the freedom to do whatever I want.
Oh, no.
It hurts you.
Maybe
That's what it sounds like.
Maybe
Okay.
you didn't hear my first statement.
Okay.
I agree that you don't always have to disclose a betrayal to the betrayed person.
I think that you always should give that to them. It's not in a
If
sense
you have
to
a
try and relieve
suicidal
any type of guilt or shame that you have. It's not to say that, oh, once I do this, I'm going to feel better. No, it's, as you said, to put the ball in their court and say, you know what, I got to be upfront with you, because just you're thinking about the emotional trauma of what they're going to feel when you say it to their face. But what about the trauma that they'll feel if they hear it from somebody behind their back?
And like, I have to just, about putting the ball in your court, I wish that had happened to me. Like, as the person cheated on, both times I was not told. Both times I don't know, used magical intuition or something, and I knew exactly who it was, when it was, what time it happened, and I broke off the relationship
Deep
the first
down,
time.
we always know.
We always know. And so,
Yeah.
I mean, I think, putting the ball, I wish the ball had been put in my court. Both times I was not apologized to, they never admitted to doing it.
Oh,
and like,
I've been cheated on too, and I've also been cheated on.
And I wish, I don't know
When
what
I was
was
cheated on,
I was
yeah,
gonna
as
say-
well. He came and told me and broke up with me and gave me no option.
Well,
so
right, so that's
Wait,
but I think that was very, very, very emotionally traumatizing for me. You know,
Because it felt like abandonment.
yeah, it did. Well, but I've never been abandoned before. Like I've never
It was
experienced
your
that.
first
So
experience. with it.
right. And so it definitely like took time for me to get.
Okay.
She brought up a very good point. What if someone is suicidal? What if
I see. I did hear
Oh.
that.
like that's
But I
that
still
made me think, because I'm like, I think you should definitely disclose it at some point somehow, and yet, if I had a partner who was so fragile and I knew that,
But how long have they been fragile? Were they fragile when you cheated or way before you cheated?
Right.
That's kind of why.
I've been in that situation. There are safeguards you can put in place that you make sure that they're with safe people, that they have people who can support them through that time. Because I have been in that situation.
But what I'm saying is, I respect that. But the same token, when you met this person with a suicidal.
Oh no, I'm saying I was the suicidal person.
So
I was cheated on.
But using that as like a deterrent for why you shouldn't tell someone it's not always.
As
I understand
somebody,
it.
No, as somebody who was in that situation, I agree that I was still glad I was told.
It's not always the cheater's fault when they cheat.
Yes, it is. Always their fault. Always their fault. It will be their fault forever. Are you crazy?
I can think of one instance where I would say it's not the cheater's fault. If someone is in an abusive situation and maybe they don't feel safe to leave the relationship,
Okay.
I could understand why.
Fair.
And maybe even like
Fair, very
they've
fair.
fallen for someone else. They use that as an excuse to get out of the relationship. I would still say it stems from within, for sure. But that would be the one instance in which
Yeah,
I would say
I respect
could
that.
totally
Abuse is not
understand,
okay.
like, where the
I'm
cheating
cheated
came
too.
from.
Come
It's-
get
you're
me.
not
My man
safe.
is
I
beating
think
me
that I
up.
have read
Please save
too
me.
many accounts of
Hell yeah.
women and men being taken advantage of and being put into a situation where there really is no choice. So a lot of the women that I counsel are in domestic violence households, and
Damn.
a lot of them have been threatened with murder
Damn.
if they chose to leave the relationship.
Damn.
And so what
That's
ends
true
up
though.
happening is all of a sudden you're at work and you are having a conversation with a male colleague who exhibits genuine care for you and your situation. It's almost impossible to stop the inertia of love from being able to take that person out of the situation.
If I had to play devil's advocate, do you think replacing something that can be considered negative with another negative makes it right?
It's difficult to compare like one sin to another, but I think that at the end of the day, if somebody is harming you, whether it's emotionally or physically, and they're making that choice, that's always going to be worse
Yeah.
to make.
100%.
I also think that truth and reality really don't give a about right or wrong. So it's kind of like, why would I be so obsessed with labeling somebody else's decision that ultimately resulted in their safety?
Yeah, might make them safer.
Okay, I believe wrong is wrong. I do. I believe that two wrongs don't make a right. There's no way. Like, I just, that's just my personal belief. I don't think that,
But what if that person is not safe to leave?
okay, so, but they're okay to cheat.
It's not a question of okay.
I think that it's without partiality. Like, I can't sit here and say that somebody is right for cheating
We
based
didn't
off
say
of,
right. We just said
or
wrong.
they're okay to be able to cheat based off of the fact that they're in an abusive relationship. If you are in an abusive relationship, get the heck out.
But they're saying, what if you can't get out? I feel like that's normal because many times the man is always, man or woman, may threaten their person and say, if you leave me, I'm gonna kill you, X, Y, X, Y, Z. You can't get out of a relationship like that unless maybe, I don't even want to talk about the law because the law is so messed up, but maybe if you're like surrounded with the police 24/7, or like your father or brother is a police officer, like, you know, you have somewhere to go, but like you can't, it's not easy to get out. If you've never experienced that, it may be so much easier to say than some person who's experienced that. Am I making sense? I don't think it's easy to get out of an abusive relationship. No freaking way. Hell no. Hell no. How do you? I don't know.
If you can't, it's not always that
Then
simple.
how is it that no one is able to like tell me?
You gotta talk to some girls. You gotta
Hey,
talk to
no.
some
My
girls.
question will be,
Calm down.
so
I just want to know. I'm asking the question because you're saying that someone can sit there and cheat on someone based off of the fact that they're in an abusive relationship. Where does that come? Like, how does that make that okay or make it right? Where does that come?
It's not a black and white thing, and I think we keep coming to that. I don't think anybody is saying like it's okay. I think we're just saying it's not okay, and it's in the middle.
But I believe in yes or no and okay or not
Right,
okay,
and
right or wrong.
I think some of us are thinking black and white, and some of us just aren't those kinds of people, and I think that's okay.
I'm not open about that.
But I'm not saying that being unsafe in an abusive relationship makes it okay to cheat. What I'm saying is that someone might use forming a relationship with another person
To get out of the
as a
abusive,
safety
right.
Because now you have somebody else to go to. Because I think a lot of people don't realize, but the abuse actually kicks up after you leave the relationship. It gets worse because the person who's abusing you
Isn't
will
abusing
stop
you, right.
will chase
Yep,
you,
yep.
will blow up your phone, will show up at your house.
Yep.
It is very dangerous for people, I'm not going to
100%.
gender it, for people who are leaving abusive situations, it gets more dangerous. And so cheating, forming another relationship with somebody
It's a safety net, period.
may actually help that person
100%.
find safety.
my question would be like, how would it help them find safety if the relationship is already abusive? I would think that would anger the person.
I get what she's saying. It would anger them. Yes, it would be more dangerous, but at least they're out of it. You know, they're out of it. Period.
It doesn't matter though. That's what I'm saying.
It's the disclosing of the internal reality.
We are all humans in our bodies, and you have a right to feel comfortable in your body and to feel safe. And whether or not you have to make a decision that makes you immoral or whatever in order to protect your safety, that is okay in my eyes. I don't think about right and wrong. I was raised in the church, so I was drilled a lot about black and white and right and wrong. I just can't. My dad was a pastor. Crazy.
Oh
I
wow,
know we brought up
that's crazy.
specifics and everything, but I think if we're just looking at the specific prompt in itself, I think that there's always a choice. There's always a choice. I understand, you know, maybe if someone's under the influence and, you know, I can see how that could be literally blurred. But I think in general, if someone's sober,
cheating
is a choice.
No, I agree.
And I think that's where we can put the fault on that person because they made that conscious decision.
But what is
And
the purpose of assigning fault?
well, I mean, I'm not saying there's any
'Cause you
purpose.
stepped-
That wasn't the prompt. Like the prompt was like that the person is at fault.
I'm trying to get
my point.
No, I understand. I love that.
Yeah, it's still that choice to where you have to have the accountability held for you. I think that's where it's important to have the right or wrong,
Yes.
regardless of whether we think it's black or white. Yes, I feel like if we do not have an objective choice of what is right, what is wrong, then we should just be in a world that's a free-for-all and jail's emptied out. No judicial system. The thought process in my mind, I know it was brought up that, okay, that may be their only way out of the relationship. But then it was later brought up that sometimes getting out of the relationship is the worsening part. So if you're leaning towards getting out the relationship anyway, are you going to
No, what
create
I
more
meant
havoc?
is that you have a safe haven now that somebody, which is also might lead to more toxic situations. But I just mean, if you were so desperate to get out of a relationship,
That you're willing to fall in love with
abuse
anybody,
is
right?
gonna crank up as
Right.
soon as you leave. Now I have somebody else to protect me.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And I do think that again, like blame, fault, I prefer accountability. I think that's the thing. If something can be right, something can be wrong. Something can be in the middle.
And right and wrong is very subjective. Like it's very different for everyone. And
Last politics.
Right. At the end of the day, whatever my like reason or excuse or whatever you want to call it, it was a choice that I made, and I cannot put that on the other person.
Okay.
We have to move on. Any last
I want to
concluding
say
words
one
for
thing.
each
I want
person?
to say one thing.
No, we got to move on to the last concluding words.
Damn.
Once a cheater, always a cheater isn't a thing. I believe that there is forgiveness. I believe that you should forgive yourself.
Once a cheater, always a cheater. I feel like that's very rare that if you cheated once, I feel like it's very rare. Like, you have to have made some psychological changes. Like, I cheated once, I'm not going to do it again. But I feel like it's very rare that if you cheated once, you will do it again. But maybe that's not all people, but I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
Your partner, I believe that you owe that to that person. If you are cheating, you need to tell them, and you can change. There is a new life for you. But that's what I'll say. I'll leave it at that.
It's great to like be able to have a conversation and see the other side and the other perspective in a safe space, So I don't really have any concluding thoughts about the conversation other than thank you for the conversation.
To hear your perspective, it all made me think, and the interesting thing for me is knowing why I cheated and where I am now just as a human being with my maturity, understanding of the world, and my own history of abuse and trauma, and how it's like I've forgiven myself a long time ago. It's not about that, but kudos to everyone for just being respectful and really being vulnerable.
So obviously going through being cheated on, it wasn't a great experience, but I have a different perspective than I have ever had, than I ever would have had if I didn't get cheated on.
Yeah.
Because now I know.
I feel like you can learn from being cheated on. You grow.
The biggest thing and the biggest gift that
I feel like
have.
when you get cheated on, it's like I know what I will put up with, and I know what I won't put up with moving forward into my next relationship.
Is we're able to speak and we're able to communicate.
Yeah, I think throughout this whole conversation, I learned that communication is preventative on all different measures, and if we can learn how to have that communication prior to, it can help us stay away from the hard conversations.
Right.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Tell it to all of America and all of the nuance and talking.
Ask for permission, not beg for forgiveness.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining this episode of Middle Ground of Cheaters versus Cheated On. If you guys want to shake hands and embrace, please do so now.
Oh, who's gonna touch who? Okay. Good video. What a way for me not to heavily rely on ChatGPT, but to think logically, and to respond to these questions based off of the real world and not artificial intelligence. So kudos for me for using my brain today. This was a really interesting video. I really liked that I found this video this morning and was able to watch it, understand everybody's perspective, know what to look out for, stay away from, but also learn a cheater's perspective and, why they cheat, how they feel about cheating, and to also know how it made the person that they cheated on feel. I feel like I could agree, I don't want to say that, because I would never agree with the cheater, but I can understand their thought process. I feel like at the end of the day, it all comes down to not wanting to hurt a person. In my opinion, that inner part was basically not wanting to hurt a person. But the people who got cheated on, it was like, it hurt anyway. The damage is already done. You're being selfish. So just, Okay. I'm curious to know what you guys think, though. What are your thoughts? How do you feel about cheating? Please tell me if you ever cheated. In the comments, right? If you made it through this whole video, please write in the comments. I don't care how long it is. Tell me if you ever cheated. And, how did that go when you told the person? Or if you experienced cheating, how did that make you feel? How did you find out? I would love to read those comments. Or it could be I can make a reaction video of you guys sending me messages of when you found out you cheated or whatever. I don't know, 2026 coming in with some content. I want it to be different. I want to give some variety. So if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more videos like this, let your girl know. Let me know. But Happy New Year. I love all of you guys so much. We're all family at this point. And I'll see you in the next video. Love you guys. Bye.